The single hand complication for watches used to be exclusively for high horology, but much like the GMT complication within watches where we see from the Miyota 9075 and we see from Seiko with the NH34, other brands have been taking other complications to give them a complication of a single hand in a more affordable rate. We took a look at that Vario single hand watch, which was more so a laid back kind of design. It was made for a more minimalistic feel. This time we're taking a look at Pierre Paulin, which was bought out by the Merkur company, and they actually made a watch that's 1/4 the cost. I purchased the watch. It was not gifted to the channel. They have no idea that I'm making this review, but I want you to understand something when I'm doing reviews, whether it be a $100 watch or a $1,500 watch. At the end of the day, I'm trying to give you guys things that are more objective. So if I say that the watch is of value, I'm talking in regards to how much it actually costs. We can't have the expectations of having what we would find even in a $300 to $500 watch if we're looking for something, or we're looking at something that is sub $200 range. So keep that in mind. I'll try to make my reviews more objective. This way you guys can make your decisions at the end of the review. But at the end of the day, do your own homework and do your own research to find things out more in depth to make sure that it's a good fit for you. With that being said, let's take a look at this Pierre Paulin single hand watch and see what we come up with. Now, I picked this watch up from AliExpress. It's offered in a 38 or 36 millimeter size option in several different dial options to choose from, and it's around $122 in cost. The watch's specs by my calibers is a 38 by 46, a thickness of 12.8 millimeters, a lug width of a strap-friendly 20 millimeters. The crown is 7.4 millimeters. It has 50 meters of water resistance, and it weighs with the strap 67 grams. This timepiece is powered by the Seagull ST17, and I do believe it was a modified version to achieve this jump hour capacity. It does not have any hacking. The strap is actually pretty decent, often lost on watches at this price range. It reminds me of an Epson leather, not quite as supple, but the similar pattern does give me that feel. It's not one of the ones that you get with these affordable watches that you need to rush to replace. I've actually been using the strap itself throughout filming and testing the watch. Quick release spring bars, double-sided buckle, polished, signed underneath with a Merkur that acts as a fixed keeper on the opposite end. The strap tapers from 20 millimeters down to a 16 millimeter, branded underneath the strap as well. Flipping things over, we get a screw-in case back into the case itself, a lion head and Merkur branding text underneath it. It has primarily circular brushing into the case that extends itself into the back of the lugs. For keyless work function, we get a push-pull crown. It has a sandblast and polish combo to it with a watch head logo engraved. It features a coined edge knurling, very well finished, easy to grip for the 7.4 millimeter crown. For the case, it features vertical brushing. It's not a satin finish, but it is well enough to be happy for the value that you're paying. Drilled lugs can be spotted at this point, and it has a polished top portion of the lugs. And just north of that, we have a two-stepped polished bezel to contrast the sides of the case being brushed. It definitely gives off a vintage feel. Attached to that, protecting the dial, we have a domed K1 glass crystal. Now, when I looked up K1 glass, it's known for its scratch and impact resistance. It's also known for its strength and superb clarity. And when I tested this on my diamond selector, it did read how a sapphire glass would. However, I am highly doubtful if any AR coating has been applied. I experienced some glare difficulties while filming and photo shooting this watch, present of a light source. Moving downward, we have a Breguet style minute hand, small second hands at the 6 o'clock subdial, both in a yellow color. Although happy to the style that was chosen for this minute hand, it unfortunately disrupts the aperture at the turn of the hour, blocking a readable legibility to it. In addition, I personally feel that extending the hand to the edge of the dial and enlarging the hand's circle would have greatly improved this issue. The dial starts off with a thin ring with yellow markers for the minute value, a large ring featuring a Arabic indexes also printed in yellow to follow. At the 12, an aperture represents the hour in which it is currently in, and it actually snaps over nicely only seconds before the top of the hour. And to be honest, I do rather enjoy the cutout shape of the hour's aperture. Just underneath it, we get Pierre Paulin in all capital with a cursive script just underneath it, and I think it makes out the word dragon. At the center of the dial, a display of striation groove patterns that runs through the circular minute and hour markers. And at this price range, it's safe to say that it was achieved through a stamping process. A subdial sits at the 6 o'clock position, recessed, concentric circle design pattern not so much noticeable from afar, and within it tiny yellow second markers to match the rest of the watch's paint. The dial definitely has depth to it, from its outer borders leading into the main plate design all the way up to the second subdial section, all of which done in a decent finishing. Now the watch does not feature any luminescent elements, which is fine in my opinion considering it's a watch for filling more of a dress watch category. Overall, the quality isn't bad, honestly. Of course, that is taking under the consideration you're getting a jump hour complication at sub $200. There of course was opportunities that was missed in the minute hand for sure. In addition, the double digits for the hour could have been more bold for clarity, which in turn would mean a slightly larger aperture, being that it isn't for a date read and not needing to be more subdued. Visibly seeing the hour hand quickly and easily must take priority. On some of the dial colorways to the other options, they are on the border of looking a bit plasticky, especially on the green colored dial version, but not completely uninteresting, and I'm okay with honestly the jump hour trade-off for the price. I am overall personally happy with the timepiece for what it is in my collection, and for now it is here to stay. So are you considering this, Pierre Paulin? Do you own this watch in your collection yourself? Is there another option out there around this price range? I would love to hear from you guys. I'll leave a link for the Pierre Paulin Jump Hour by Merkur in the description below. I appreciate you guys for spending your most valuable asset, which is time, and I hopefully will see you in the next one.